Welcome back to ABC News Live Reports. Of course, we are continuing our coverage of those heavy strikes exchanged between Israel and Iran. The IDF now says Iran launched less than 100 rockets towards Israel. And emergency officials say at least 41 people were injured as a result of those attacks. This comes as Israeli officials say the IDF damaged a key nuclear facility early this morning, that's local time, while also killing several military commanders along with top scientists. Israel launching the attacks, citing concerns about Iran advancing its nuclear program. Let's continue this conversation with former Israeli ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren. Michael, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I do want to start with your initial reaction to the barrage of Iranian missiles launched towards Israel. All eyes are on this region. What comes next?
Good evening. Good evening. Good to be with you, Morgan. Well, on a personal level, my family's in a bomb shelter. The house shook tonight. Some of those rockets hit relatively close to us. So it's all intensely very personal. On a strategic level, Iran has fired less than 100 rockets at us. That's a third of what they fired each of the two times they launched rockets at us during the course of 2024, significantly less. And though some rockets did get through and 41 people were injured, I think Israel's multi-tiered anti-missile defense system, which is Iron Dome at the lowest level, the middle level, David Sling, and then the orbital and suborbital Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 systems proved their efficacy once again. The big question here now, moving from a strategic level to the geopolitical level, is what's the goal? Barring the fall of the Iranian regime, and this is a very unpopular regime indeed, and tonight, Prime Minister Netanyahu had called on the Iranian people to rise up and overthrow that regime. Barring that, I think the goal here is to get back to a negotiating table. I think that's what President Trump has made abundantly clear. In a situation where Iran is willing to make concessions that it was not willing to make during the 60-day period that President Trump had established for those first round of negotiations.
But do you think that they're in a position to make those concessions, or does this make them more defiant at this point?
Well, right now, maybe make more defiant, but ultimately the goal, I think, for Israel, and I think for the United States as well, is to present Iranian leaders with a choice. Either they remain in power or they give up their enrichment facilities. You can't have both ways. And I think where we are, today was the first good step toward realizing that goal.
Well, Michael, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirms more retaliatory attacks are coming to Iran. European leaders are calling for a de-escalation between the two countries. Is that possible at this point?
It would be possible. I don't think it's likely. I think Israel has opened a corridor from western Iran into central Iran. That was the goal of many of the bombing raids today, was to eliminate all of Iran's anti-aerial defense systems, and Israeli tanks now operate almost with impunity against these targets. So Israel has a tremendous advantage. And this is not just about the nuclear program. Keep in mind that this is a regime which, for the last 46 years, has pledged weekly, if not daily, to destroy us, and has not just acted, not just said those words, has acted on it. Has killed thousands of Israelis directly or through its proxies, through terrorist acts, both in Israel and against Israeli and Jewish targets abroad. This is a regime that's deeply, deeply committed to our destruction. And Israel has, of course, every right and indeed a duty to defend ourselves against this threat. And I think that at this point, having really displayed tremendous forbearance over the years vis-a-vis Iran, there's an opportunity now to make a regional change. And at stakes here, Morgan, is a really, truly a Middle East, a new Middle East, where Israel could have peace with Lebanon, peace with Syria, peace with Saudi Arabia, but who knows, maybe even peace with Iran in the future. And this region in another half a year could look very, very different.
Well, Michael, you mentioned that your family is directly impacted by this bomb shelter, and it sounds like they're okay in sheltering in place. But what is your confidence in the Iron Dome being able to deter future attacks and protect Israeli civilians?
Well, it's not just the Iron Dome, as I mentioned, it's these other systems as well. And who knows, maybe the United States is contributing too. They have three very advanced systems, the Aegis system, the Patriot system, and the THAAD system, as well as American aircraft that shoot down drones and shoot down rockets. So altogether, that's a very effective umbrella. But no umbrella is foolproof, is invulnerable. And we've seen tonight, out of 100 rockets, 5 or 7 got through. That's normal, by the way. That's not abnormal. These systems are about 92 to 95% effective. And yes, these bomb shelters, which we have in our houses, are effective against, but some of these rockets are carrying 200 pounds of TNT. That's not enough just to take down my building. It's enough to take down my neighborhood. So I am confident, but I'm not calm.
Confident but not calm. Michael Oren, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Morgan.
And we'll have